Final video for this evening. It's already after 4 o'clock in the morning, and the nurses are starting to bitch at me, saying I should get some sleep and all that. So, um, this is the video I've been wanting to do all night long, but I just had these other like random thought dumps first that I had to express, and get out there before they were lost forever. But basically, yeah, this right here is a very left-hand path experience. This is the whole point of the left-hand path: pain and suffering. I'm in pain right now. I've been in pain for the last week. I've been in excruciating pain. But this pain is progress. This is the exact point of the left-hand path. Oh, you're thinking, oh, no, you're crazy. Or, one of those van douchebag trolls make comment, no, Satanism is worshiping yourself, and it's all about being a greedy Jew, and gluttony, and fucking your ass off like a rat. Okay, get the fuck off my channel, because I do not tolerate ignorant atheists, just like I do not tolerate ignorant Christians. And I do not tolerate ignorant trolls. So if you're a Levian or you're one of those faggots, turn the fucking video off right now. Leave the real left-hand path information for the real serious motherfuckers who are going to crawl their asses through hell, through thorn bushes in the night side, get themselves covered with cuts and scrapes, get possible spiritual infections, have their whole life implode before them, their whole identity challenged, their mind stretched to the limits of its elasticity, or, in layman's terms, threshold of insanity, and back. The whole ego must be challenged, must be shooken, and rearranged so that you can evolve. Now I'll tell you a bit about myself. I knew all this stuff already because I just read it from books. I was one of those annoying, I used to be one of those armchair occultists. I would gather as many books as I can, I'd gather all of Asenath Mason's books, and books from Temple of Ascending Flame, and as many like different like left-hand path books as I could get, and I would just read them, and that was it. I just set them down in my dresser drawer, and they just collect dust. And I used to be a very, very materialistic man. Well, I still kind of am, and it's not the cancerous type of materialism I am. My materialism is transforming itself. There's nothing wrong with material possessions, okay? It's completely fine to have awesome things like that help accelerate your spiritual evolution. That's completely fine. When the whole entire focus of there is just shekels and ego, look at how like unholier than thou I am, and then eventually this will blow up in your face, like it does to everyone else who is false. Up until last week, I was a very, very sick, very, very spiritually sick person. I had no sense of spirituality whatsoever. It was armchair spirituality is what it was actually. I just read books and I theorized, oh yeah, if you did this, technically you open up gateways in your mind and the subconscious, and you open up gateways to hell, and technically, theoretically, that man, someone should have slapped me a long time ago. Can't you just stand like armchair magicians? It's just all thought and just all talk, But one day I decided to do something. I decided to do something, and this changed my whole life forever. So this would be the other week. 2 weeks ago, I was with a friend for a good like 4 days in a row, and we were smoking and like drinking a lot there, and and the smoking really did me in, is what I found out. So I come back here and to my other house, and I find that I never get any sleep since I came home. I just keep on smoking and drinking. So and something odd happens to me, I finally was able to get to sleep. So like, okay, I was there at this friend's house from like Tuesday morning, and I was picked up Friday at 12 o'clock noon. And then I was lucky if I got a couple hours of sleep on Saturday morning. And then on Sunday, this is when everything changed. Like, I just had this sudden impulse just enter my body. This occult impulse, you know? And anyone who knows me long enough, I have idols. I'm an idolater. I kiss t-shirts that look like Baphomet and things like that. And then all of a sudden, I also had this like gargoyle thing that looks like a goat, that I got for my senior trip. And for the past couple of years, it's been sitting in my closet shelf doing practically nothing but collecting dust. And then all of a sudden, I have this impulse in my mind. I start praying. I start praying to it. I start worshiping this hideous looking monstrous figure, and I start masturbating, and I offer it my sexual fluids there. And also, this is after I started this actually, but since I'm so scatterbrained right now, I never tell stories in chronological order anyway. So I also feed this gargoyle statue with a couple of drops of my Jim Beam through an eyedropper on there. And this is actually this all started when I opened up my Draconian Ritual Book. I've been reading through it past couple of days. I tell you, Asnath Mason is my favorite author. She is so straight and to the point. There, I tell you, I devoured that book in like 3 sittings. Like I sat down on the seat like 3 weeks ago, and I read like over like 100 pages, like almost 200 pages in like 4 hours. Like that's how much I love this knowledge. I just fucking eat the book in like days. I fucking eat it. Everything. So, and then there's a 7-day initiation ritual. So, I figured, I'm tired of having smoky, tarred ass lungs. I'm tired of feeling hungover. I'm tired of being a fucking dirty ass grub ball with no job, with no money, and just being physically so frail and just basically just generally and just accident prone weak. And I'm just so tired of this sick condition that I'm in that I finally decided to do something about it. So I take the picture of the sigil there, the dragon of the inner and outer dragon with the circle on it, and the 4 elemental pyramids at the 4 corners. It kind of looks like a clock now. And it instructed me to like use colors red and black, but I didn't have those. So I ended up using a blue pen and drawing it on white computer paper, and it's just as effective, because I got the same visions and everything that anyone else probably would have gotten if they used red and black. So this is on Sunday night or something like that. Pretty sure, yeah, I think it was Sunday night. And I start saying the ritual opening and evocation of that ritual. I'm trying to bleed myself, my palm open, and all that. So I take my X-Acto knife and I struggle so hard to draw blood from my palm, and finally I realize, fuck it, man, let's pour some whiskey on that mutilated palm there, and that actually works. So if you ever have a hard time like getting blood all out of your palm, because alcohol is an anticoagulant, dip your razor blade or your X-Acto knife, your lancet, whatever, into your spirit before you plunge it into your flesh, because that alcohol is like a wick type of effect. How tiki torches use it to pull the oil all the way from the bottom of the can up to the flame. It does the same thing with your blood and sanitizes the wound against infections at the same time. You're killing two birds in one stone. No need to bandage at all. I never bandage my wound. See that spidery web looking thingy? That's the palm I use to offer my witch blood to the sigil of the inner and the outer dragon. And so I'm continuing with this ritual, right? And all of a sudden it's like this sigil before me becomes a stone, and like the elements, the four elemental pyramids are glowing on there, the dragon's glowing, and I finally I'm able to draw blood, and I stir around my bloodied and whiskeyed up in palm with my index finger, make a paintbrush out of it, and I'm able to finally get my blood on it there, and it starts glowing like fire, and it turns into this red stone. It actually looked a lot like an artifact you find in the new Doom video game. Now, there's a whole nother video, but basically how this all works is that true hell is an abyss. It's chaotic. It's beyond human comprehension. So what these entities will do for you is that they will take on a form that you are familiar with and can understand. With me, I was raised Catholic, and I used to play a lot of Doom 3 as a child, and I play the new Doom. I enjoy the new Doom 2016 reboot of the game. So of course these entities and these places and in these tunnels in my unconscious mind and these realms are going to appear to me in a familiar shape. And so my room was turning white all of a sudden as I continued with the prayers and the evocation, and just flash, and just all of a sudden my altar, my whole vision goes like static, like a TV channel. Like when you're on the wrong channel that isn't working, it looks like snow. That's what's happening. Like, and then my room would disappear and reappear. So it was like I was flashing in and out of existence, and finally, boom! I teleported to the other dimension. There. And I see like the ground opening up, and like it looks like Earth, but it ain't the Earth that's today. It's a hellified Earth, and all sorts of awesome shit's going on in my mind. Man, there's like lightning storms, man. There's devils, dragons, serpents, all sorts of wicked spirits just flying around the sky and tearing up the whole fucking town. The roof of my apartment room just is torn clean off, like a tornado, and it's just open sky. And I see devils and all sorts of manner of hell spawn, raising all sorts of hell all over my own town there, and I just stood back in awe. And I can't believe that even saying these words would trigger this in my imagination. That's how potent these workings are. And I swear to you, it was just like that 1920s documentary, Hacks and Witchcraft Throughout the Ages. It's like I totally lived out a scene from that. And then my vision changed there, and I left my Earth there, and I realized that I was actually in hell all this time, and I continue my journey onward. I hear this voice, a dragon in my imagination. Now I haven't been able to decipher yet if this is actually Lucifer himself or just my higher self is taking over the ritual. Yeah, but I still am open enough to receive the words that was spoken or that was thought in my head that just happened, and just to write them down later. So I'm led down this like cavernous like labyrinth of bones. It looks sort of like Titan's Realm, from the Doom video game. There's a giant, there's like swamps of blood, and just like rib bones, that are the size of houses, that are as tall as your house. There's skulls that are the size of buildings there. I mean, it's a pretty epic place, and I'm taken to somewhere that looks exactly like my own room, and I'm instructed to sit down, and I ask about this. Well, why'd you take me to this replica? Do you have a replica of every magician's house is there? And he said, no, that basically what happens is these entities, they'll create a matrix for you that they feel is necessary for your evolution. And they'll test you there, they'll question you there, they'll interact with you there, they'll give you gnosis there. This is for new people, but I have never actually, I may have never even actually left the universe at that point. I was just guided towards my own inner night side on there, and this is probably just a primer, I think, to really like prime me for real, like interstellar and like universe and like dimensional travel and exploration, because I have to have, my mind has to be hardened first, So that was the first night, okay, and I'm not going to repeat what I wrote down in my journal because, it'd take so long, and this video is already going on 20 minutes long, I'm going to wrap it up before my caretakers get back, like, oh, you're still up, so, that was the first night there. Second night was a little more fun. It was, it instructs you that you're going to, like, the meditation, you're going to spawn at a mountain, and you're going to, basically, you're going to, like, go into this cavern that looks like, a set of jaws, like a mouth, and you go in, and it's just nothing but darkness, and you look back, and the cave is actually alive now, and the jaws of the rock is closing behind you, and now you're actually inside the dragon of the earth, and you're walking, and your skin, and my skin is just like melting right off, I'm doing everything this meditation is telling me to do, but with one exception there, is that, with my goats thing, I actually had the goat, had a goat in that, vision that I created, lead me to it there, lead me to the cave, and it just kept running off deeper and deeper into the cave there, and until my skin was melting off, and I think I saw it one more time, and it was sinking in the acidic bile of the stomach, whatever, but I couldn't do anything to help, because I was sinking as well. And then I looked down, and like my fingers and like bones become diamond, just like it says to visualize on there. So I create myself a diamond skeletal body, and then I see this bunch of scales that just like boom boom, they just like piece themselves together like on me. And then I see what I believe is my goat friend again. He's risen out of blood and mud, and he's this big hulking horned behemoth there, who is a very Baphometic shape. He looks like He looks a lot like Marbus, um, the goat boss from the Ninja Gaiden games there. And so we cuddle for a bit there, and my pet goat, who was known on the farm of Marbus, he wanted to fuck me. And I can't remember if we did or not, but I think because the dragon was, the earth dragon that we were inside was being animated, and we had to get the fuck out of there soon, else we'd be completely swallowed by the earth. So I'm like, no, not now, when we get back. So I shove him off me right there, and we go. I claw my way through, and like a bunch of undead and like zombies that were like eaten by the dragon, they become reanimated and they're coming after me, and I have to swipe, I have to kill them, and some of the other creatures that live inside the dragon, they didn't want me to leave, so I had to go full Ben Garrison Doom Marine on them, man. Glory killing creatures left and right, tearing damn souls apart. Somehow Greys were able to show up there. I thought Greys were strictly bound to the Dayside realm, but hell, maybe this is just my unconscious, my imagination, or anything's possible there. So it's glory killing Greys as glory killing lesser dragons and devils that are trying to block my escape. And all sorts of matter of undead in between. And finally I find an exit, and I'm pounding my way out, and I have this incredible strength that I'm just like, I'm punching through the dragon's like outer wall of like the chest cavity. It's like a hot knife through butter. It's like no effort. And I turned around, and there's Marbus again behind me, who's actually my goat. And he's sinking. He's got like hands. He's been overwhelmed by like hands or something. It's like he's trying to pull him back underneath the surface into the stomach acid. So I go in there, and with my incredible like godlike strength, I grab Marbus and I pull him out of there. I save him just from like almost near death, and I carry him in my arms, as a man carries his bride, his woman, up to his room there, and we dashed the fuck out of there. And I had him over my shoulder, and there was a huge hike on the way to the cavern, and it began the meditation. When my new form, my bestial form, it was like part dragon, part goat there. Like it was very short. Like I could just like leap entire ravines in like a single bound, and actually what ended up happening is I'd sprint and I'd jump over some cliff faces there, and my campsite was not that far ahead where I spawned in the meditation, and I grabbed a ledge with Marbus on one shoulder, and I was kind of just like throwing myself up and just grabbing pieces of like rock with one hand. So like this is like God of War type of shit that I'm doing in order to get back home. So after climbing like that for a bit, I finally get back, to my pad, and then I close my eyes. Again, I'm still visualizing this. My eyes are really shut, but I close my astral eyes, and then boom, I'm back in the human form again, and my Marbus is back into a cute little harmless Nigerian dwarf form again. And that's the end of the second day of the meditation. The third day of the meditation was a little bit more interesting because we got to explore the water dragon there, and it was just like the last meditation, the Dragon of the Earth meditation, but instead of entering a cavern, we had to descend to looked like a beach or like a shore that had like water on it. So I go down the water, and my goat is being crazy again. It's running away from me. It's luring me to my own possible destruction. And it offered itself as a sacrifice to the water because it kept on running into the water. It didn't even try to swim. It just ran underwater and it was gone. The next thing I knew, bubbles were coming up. I'm like, oh fuck, yeah, my little goat just got eaten there. So then I see um, a giant serpent, a giant serpent, a Lotan, Tiamat, or Leviathan, or whatever. It could have been either any of those names. Doesn't matter. The point here is the essence behind the experience. The meditation instructs me to let it eat me, so it did. I visualized it swallowing myself whole. I'm sliding down its esophagus, into its stomach, acid. I'm seeing um, like like nests, like from Dead Space 2 when you like go into that necromorph thing. Or no, it's Dead Space 3. But whatever. You get what I mean. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm dissolving, my flesh is gone, my skeleton's gone, and now my consciousness is in the consciousness of this giant water serpent. And I open my eyes, I'm underwater, and I can see for like miles and shit, and like my vision is fucking clear. So I raise my fucking head. And this is where it gets really interesting. The whole point of the meditation in this lesson, not only did I learn about the element of the water, the dragon, I also learned about bilocation and collective conscious intelligence. My dragon body had 7 heads, like the Canaanite Lotan monster. I raise my head, and I can see my vision is like normal human vision. Now our peripheral vision goes out for lucky like 145 degrees, 150 degrees in a circle, a semicircle. So it's like our vision's a slice of pie. Now animals that like goats and cows and things that have eyeballs on the sides of their head, their peripheral vision's a little bit greater. It's at least 180 degrees. It's almost a full circle. They can see almost behind their head. It's like it's crazy. It's like 270 or something degrees. Well, with me, I could see normal human vision, but at any moment, I could switch over to a dragon head that's like 3 heads down to my right, and all of a sudden I could control that head and neck, and I could see reality that way. And then, with just the thought of it, I could switch back to the head I was just at, or I could switch to the head that was all the way to my left, you know. A dragon had more eyes on it, you know. Or, and this is where it gets really interesting. I decided, well, what if I tried to be all of these heads, control all these heads at the same time? And just like that, like I was controlling all of the heads, and all these heads were looking in different directions. And I had a full 360 degree view times 7 heads. Alright. Now, have you ever seen beyond 180 degrees? You need what's called a wide angle lens, or a gravitational lens. This bends and distorts reality around you. In fact, to the maximum effect that if you take a picture of a forest, there's pictures of this been photoshopped. This is not an actual photo, a lens. At least I don't know for sure. But it distorts reality so much there that it makes a forest look like its own globe. Like you can see all the way around it like a sphere. And because I was a dragon with 7 heads, possessing 7 heads at the same time with all the eyeballs on every head, I saw the earth before me. 1 minute I'm an animal with front facing eyeballs. I'm looking at the shore and shit. Next minute, when I'm in all those heads, I see that very same shore warp around me like a newspaper is being wrapped around a bowling ball, and my whole world It was like someone uplifted me above the earth, and I could see the earth, not like a globe, like it's hard to describe. Like it was like I could see the globe, like somebody picked me up from the earth, and I was seeing the globe, you know. But this wasn't true because I was not in outer space. I was still in the sea. But I could see Earth as if I was on a higher vantage point. And then the next minute I can just switch from that vantage point down to a more limited perception by possessing any one of the any one of my 7 heads at the same time. And then I slither back up the mountain, because I realize I'm not going to be able to go to that point when my vision is this good, when it's that boom, I'm seeing everything at once. I'm going to have to limit myself so I can navigate this odd map. So I slither fast up the hill there. Sit back down. My body slowly turns into a human being again. And I'm contracting all the 7 heads back into my spine until there's only 2 left. Serpents on my shoulder, like Jackie Estacado from the comic and the video game series The Darkness. And then I even bring those back into my shoulders. I open my eyes. I'm human again. I don't remember how I recovered my goat. Maybe it was there again, waiting for me. I'm not sure. Remember, I didn't record that detail, but it was like nothing ever happened. It was like I was meditating there the whole time, and that was the end of the meditation. Now that's as far as I made it in this 7-day initiation ritual project, which works with the 4 elements of the dragon and the dragon itself. I'm not sure what the last 2 days are of the ritual. Maybe they work with all of them or something. But basically, around that same time I was doing the Temple of Ascending Flame initiation ritual, I was doing lots of devil worship. I was worshiping my gargoyle. I was offering it my semen, my Jim Beam. I was feeding it through an eyedropper. I was praying and praying and praying, and I go, Lucifer, I know I'm weak, so I need you to give me a swift kick in the ass and take away from me the obstacles that are no longer serving me in my life. I need you to rip them from me violently. And boy, did he answer. Because later, in the Tuesday evening, I could not breathe. At all. Hardly. Well, no, I could still breathe or else I would have been dead, but, I was really short of breath. And I'll make another video about how I got into St. Joseph's, which, I'm still at right now. But basically, to end this video is, I was admitted to St. Joe's at Wednesday morning. In a couple hours, once it's 7 o'clock, it would have been a solid week since I've been here. And I'm looking back at my ball and chains right now, and this has showed me how much I was being controlled by a cigarette. I was being controlled by a stupid fucking tube of paper and leaves that you light on fire, that the Jews tell you you're supposed to suck it into your lungs and hold it there so you can starve yourself of oxygen. Now, who the fuck tells you, hey, light up this dirty ass tube of scum in it and suck this filth into your lungs and starve yourself of oxygen? No normal human being would tell no normal, good intending human being would instruct you to perform such a self-destructive activity. Only a Jew would tell you to roll up a bunch of leaves and a piece of paper and tell you to light them and smoke them. I wasn't thinking about that. I used to be very, very selfish. I used to not give a fuck about my own life or existence. I had a very, very, very immature, libertarian attitude towards life. You know, hey, it's my body. I can do what I want with it. I can abuse it. I can do whatever I want to myself, and I'll pay later. You know, I'll have fun now. I'll pay later. But guess what? Payday, collection day has finally caught up with me. I tell you, it is not fun. Look at that. I'm off of suction now, but they're still keeping these tubes in me. Next to these two things, these are called water seals. And basically what that does is, in case should my next x-ray and conclude that my lungs are not faring off as well as they were today, you know, like if they shrunk again or something, you can always just plug a tube back in like that and turn my suction back on, because what that does, it sucks the excess air out of my chest cavity there and allows my lungs to fully re-expand. It's a bilateral pneumothorax, which means dual collapsed lungs. And I've been dealing with this shit for about a week now. Even though I had this developing for past 2 days before I was admitted to St. Joseph's, but I had no idea what the symptoms are, let alone what was going on with me. So I'm going to make another video about that, because this is getting way too long. I'll make a part 2 about this. But anyway, hail Satan. I ask you to place in my path those challenges that I am to face. Grant me the courage to do so. I ask you to place in my path those puzzles that I am to solve. I ask you to grant me the wisdom to do so, and to place in my path the enemies that I am to destroy, and grant me the might to do so, and place in my path those obstacles I am to overcome, and grant me the grace and the strength to do so. And so let it be done, as black earth as it is in hell. For the kingdom and power and glory are yours for now and forever, Master Lucifer, forever and ever. Hail Satan. Now that was one of the satanic prayers from the Devil's Bible by Marbodon, Pontifex Antichristus. The reason why this is a left-hand path experience is because I learned something, that I was killing my own health, and the devil decided he was not going to have one of his servants continue on in a weak, decrepit, and frail condition such as this. And it was kind of like this: you change, son, or you die. So now I'm forced to change. You know, but this is what the left-hand path does. True left-hand path invites these chaotic, chthonic forces from the very depths of both our unconscious mind and the unconscious mind of the multiverse into our lives, and it's like a fucking wrecking ball. It just, like, 1 minute you think you're okay, you're gonna have a good day, and then boom, just like that, you're in the fucking hospital in critical condition. That's the type of stuff. That's the type of mayhemic calamity change that we Satanists embrace. This is the type of stuff we expect the devil to throw at us, because this is actually a test. It's a building of character. All the darkness, the crutches, and all the negativity that was inside of my soul, the devil came to me, and he made me manifest it like 100 times faster. This would have taken me years and years. I think without Satan, I would still have lung problems for smoking, but it would have happened to me so much later. I mean, what he does is he accelerates your manifestation process, because he is the great cleanser. He is Shiva, after all. And what does Shiva do? Shiva creates and Shiva destroys. So Shiva comes into your life, also known as Satan, and he hacks off all the things that do not serve you anymore. So obviously cigarettes doesn't serve me anymore, and I asked for this. I'm like, cut away from my life the things that no longer serve me. And I also did it again when I wasn't feeling so well afterwards. I'm like, okay, I know it's the cigarettes, I'm fucked, I'm gonna have to quit smoking those, and so I'm here now, and we face these tribulations with glee. We're not Christians. We're not little lambs begging, why, Jesus, why do you do this to me? No, 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 no. If you call yourself a Satanist and you're not having stuff like this happen to you all the time, if you don't have these kind of calamities and your life just isn't falling apart and just being wrecked down by a wrecking ball in front of your eyes, and you're doing something wrong, because you're either not spiritually open or you're failing to open up your subconscious to assimilate the energies of hell, to let them affect these changes into your life. You need to reevaluate yourself if you're not having these tragedies happen in your life all of a sudden, and you need to ask yourself if you're really a Satanist or not, because we Satanists, we embrace tragedy, we embrace calamity like this, because even though it's very painful and it was very unpleasant, I am so much stronger now. My willpower to survive and my willpower to abstain from bad behavior that destroys my lungs has gotten so much stronger. I mean, this past week I have gotten discipline that would be months worth of discipline. It'd be like a whole semester in boarding school. So I got like a whole boarding school semester of discipline and character building through suffering in one torturous week in this hospital. That's evolution right there. The saying that whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger is an axiom of the left-hand path. That is true left-hand path right there. No pain, no gain. Whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. If you call yourself a Satanist and you don't embrace those, then you are not genuine left-hand path. Hail Satan.